Here we go. Lots of vibes. Not too many victories. The first weekend of spring, but quite a bit to get through. Some reviews, some previews coming up. We're going to get through the women box, who have broken some records, pride of our nation currently. The Springboks, who gave us a bit of a rude awakening, and of course, Bafana Bafana. Some positives, even though there was no victories. Very interesting how things are looking for them on the cusp of something truly, what can you say? Can you call it generational, mate?
Yeah, possibly.
The sports sangoma is
There's
here with me as per usual. Yeah, let's not waste any more time, mate. Women box. Let's start with them. Odds not really looking in our favor, etc. We'll touch on that towards the end of the juicy parts of things. Let's get into a quick one against France. No one really gave us the opportunities. Do you think we were ever really in the game?
No, like I said to you last week, Fudge, I think you said we might win or we might come close. I said 20, 30 points. It was, I think, 40, 45 odd points or something that they put on us. It was a good lesson to be learned before this weekend's New Zealand game, because the New Zealand game is going to be pretty much some of the same kind of running rugby. It could be punishing.
Yeah, so, and look, I think good guts, the bomb squad coming on, I kind of like that. There were a lot of changes that were made, obviously to test things out, see if there are any, I guess, aces up the sleeve that Sways the Brain could use, right? But with that having said, looking into the weekend coming up now, we're taking on the All Blacks. It's a double header. What a crazy day. What a massive day of rugby. One of rugby's greatest rivalries, one of sport's greatest rivalries. What do you, women box? Is there any?
Yeah. Hey, Fudge, I know we won that second test when they came to South Africa, so that was quite dope. That gave us a bit of hope that we can do it. We've done it before, but to be completely realistic, we just got to avoid being embarrassed in the quarterfinal. I think we've kind of won by getting through to the quarterfinals, first time in history. So I think we've already ticked that box, and we've won our World Cup already in our own way. But to expect us to beat New Zealand in England in the World Cup, I think that's a far stretch.
Come on,
I don't think that'll happen.
Mate. Believe a little bit, buddy.
Yeah,
Japan
I would like to
did it
believe,
us
but
in
I'm
a World
very
Cup,
realistic.
in the men's World Cup once before. We're in uncharted waters. You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
So in fact,
Yeah.
let's put it down like this. Individually, right? Player to player, okay? I don't think that the All Blacks, player to player, are that far ahead of us. And yes, especially rugby, it's so complex. The more games you play, etc., the more developed you are experience-wise. Of course, they do have that on us. But individually, Aseza Hele, for instance, you know, I think she holds her own. I don't think the margin is that big individually, which means with a few moments, X-factor moments, a few moments of magic. Come on, Sports Sango.
Yeah, Fudge, I love your optimism, but they are a better team. They're just much better on paper, in most positions. They're better units. They've been together much longer. The women's rugby in New Zealand has been flying for years now, you know. We're only just getting into it. I don't think we should get carried away. I think Strace has done a brilliant job. If he can carry on or find similar people who can carry on this kind of ethos and the way the women's game is going, I think by the next World Cup, we can be having a completely different conversation. But for now, I think we must accept that we've got through the quarterfinals in mad history. But as for beating New Zealand, it's not going to happen, Fudge. I say 30 points.
What? 30 points. Warrior Nation versus Warrior Nation. The one Warrior Nation, the All Blacks, we know all about them, right? The women's side especially, they've been in the headlines. Geez, they're one of the best women's sporting sides in the world in terms of their record. But we're also a Warrior Nation. A lot of our team is from the Eastern Cape, you know, blood and soil, people who can find that extra gear. Players who I've seen find that extra gear throughout the tournament. I know it's not looking good for us, but what are the odds saying? What are the computers saying, man? Let's get the robots into the conversation.
Fudge, I think South Africa to win over 7-1. almost 8-1 in some places. So
That's not
if you really
that's not
fancy
ridiculous. Those aren't ridiculous odds though. Well, that's, I mean, that's not 10-1.
8-1 in a 2-horse race is quite ridiculous. I think the handicap is probably, I think the handicap is sitting for 8 to 10, the handicap is sitting at about 37 points, 38 points.
Okay, damn. And
That's
you're
that's
saying
the
30
expected
points.
result. And I think we might catch a club by at least 25 or 30, I reckon.
I'm getting mate. I'm feeling something. I'm feeling some goosebumps. They're gonna show us. Anyways, they're gonna show us that there's something very special in that woman box side. I hope Sway's the brain and the coaching staff can unlock it. I've seen sometimes when they have unlocked it, like at Athol Stadium in Cape Town, when they were in the warm-up games. But in any case, speaking women's rugby World Cup, it's been quite a massive one. A lot of attendance records being broken, viewerships being broken. It's just amazing to see the efforts that are going into the women's game in rugby out there in England. Favorites there. Let's talk odds. Let's talk who you're thinking. I know you're saying it's a 2-horse race, England and the All Blacks.
Yeah, I think it's a 2-horse race fight. England, All Blacks, they'll make it all the way to the final. The only blimp in the road could be the winner of us versus Canada. Canada should put 30 or 40 against Australia. Maybe not 30 or 40, 20 or 30 points against Australia. And then Canada will play New Zealand. But I think New Zealand-England final is the one. England will probably meet France in the semis. And then England probably goes through to meet New Zealand at home. England in England against New Zealand. So that's kind of what everyone's kind of counting down to. I don't think.
Mate, I'm counting it down to Canada. Actually, I think I think the world will be hoping Canada does something special, at least makes it to the final, as unlikely as that may seem, odds-wise, etc., maybe even form-wise. But Canada, with the Rugby World Cup coming up, with World Rugby actually announcing that they're investing quite a bit of money, a couple of £100 million, if I'm not mistaken, to the Americas, who will be hosting the Rugby World Cup around 2030, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think somewhere around there.
Yeah,
31, I think it might
if
be.
I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's great to hear, and obviously Canada winning would, I mean, that would be an incredible boost to all those processes, right? So better for the World Rugby. Aren't you back in Canada?
I think they might. I think they could do it. They've got a better chance than France will do against England at home. I'll probably when they get through to there, probably go on the plus on Canada. But like I said, I think it's kind of written in stone, New Zealand England final for this one. But I do think with what you're saying, with the money injection and the game going there, the World Cup going there in a couple of years, whatever it may be, I think Canada is a good shout in for their home World Cup. But for now, I think they might fall short in the semi-finals. But it'll be a great semi-final against New Zealand. Like I said, I don't think we've got a chance of beating them.
Okay, nice one. Yeah, thanks for that, Sports Sangam. We need to get some of those odds actually on who could win the Rugby Women's World Cup of 2025. You're saying we're out of the running. I'm saying there's something special. There's something brewing in these uncharted waters. Let's see how it goes. Let's get back into the more rugby. Early morning rude awakenings. Springboks versus All Blacks in Wellington. Project Eden Park, the Den, D-Day at the Den, that didn't really work out too nicely for us. Wholesale changes as well. What break that down for us, mate? What's your opinion on the result? And most importantly, the team because of that result. Remember, it's a team that was put out on the Monday already, Monday morning. So not the earliest team ever, perhaps. If I'm not mistaken, I think it is. So interesting times.
Yeah, it's quite funny. From one of the latest teams we've seen in the last 2 years from Rassie, when he was putting them out on Tuesdays. Last week he put it out on Thursday afternoon or whatever it was, Thursday morning for us. But to coming to this week and going for the complete opposite and putting it out on Monday morning, I think that's a clear sign that he wants to kind of lambast his stalwart players that he expected a lot more from. I think there were too many mistakes in that game.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it deserved? What, I mean, a lot of people are talking about Malcolm Marx. I think Malcolm Marx actually did a great job at taking responsibility. Oof, he's the type of player that you unlock him mentally, mate. I think that's what we maybe need, as a bit of a mental unlocking, but because it's technical issues that we're having, you know, and it seems like basics more than anything else. What do you say?
So yeah, the technical, I completely agree with you there, Fudge. The technical stuff, which the technical players usually do and get us technical victories, which was what we're trying to resort back to after that first test debacle that we had, where we were playing that Tony ball and being all loose. I think we went with the tried and tested players, the technical players who usually get the job done, and they couldn't do the basics right. That's all of it in a nutshell of that test. I think what I'm happy with is that we did well to stick it in and only end up losing by 7 points.
Could have taken
with
it.
The way we were playing.
Taken it at a stage. Could have.
Yeah, at some stage we could have taken it, but even then I felt like we were almost lacking that old school confidence that we had in the World Cup. We were a bit more tentative. I do agree that some of the stalwarts didn't have great games. Guys were doing some basic errors, and the technical guys usually need to get the technical stuff right. So the complete overall facade is one just saying to them, look, fuck, we don't need you guys aren't the be all and end all, right? And we do have other players that can fill you in every position, and that's what he's gone and done. And he's gone with all the boys that like to run the ball. It could get us in a lot of cup. You never know what'll happen. It could get us in a lot of shit. But it's going to be interesting nonetheless, because we've got all the boys that like to vie. You know, we've got all the Owens in there, and they're going to be licking their chops to be playing the All Blacks in Wellington. It's going to be brilliant.
Mate, the whole of South Africa, the whole of the world will be licking their chops at a team against the All Blacks. If this is dream team territory we're in right now, we're in fantasy league vibes right now. That you don't see that often. You know, brave call by Rassie. I love what he's doing. He's trying to make sure he gets all the data he can on one of the best teams in the world, an opportunity that we may not have again until 2027, if I'm not mistaken.
What's that?
In terms of experimenting against a high quality team in a high quality competition.
Well, we are actually playing in a test series against them next year.
Yeah, we are, but again, it might be too late then, and it's a test series, so they might be experimenting. You know, here we're playing for a trophy. You know, we're playing for legacy. There, it's traditionally known as a competition where a lot of data is being taken on who is who's looking good for the World Cup 2 years later, right? There is no rugby championship next year, so at this level, considering. Of course, next year with the test could be massive as well, but this one is a for sure. And you're playing them away after a massive victory. There's a lot in the air. It's tense. You're playing against a lot of their players at their best as well. This is the time. And he's I don't think he's rolling the dice, but he's watching. He's letting the boys have a go, and he's watching with a very keen eye. And I think it's the best way, actually, to get the team more focused and zoomed in mentally, is when you get them playing a brand of rugby that they could have fun with. There's a certain edge it gives a training, it gives a squad, it gives you a training. And I think that edge does transfer onto the performance on the field. But as you said, who knows?
Look, this complete flip, this lineup is full of spice. These guys like to run. You know, Sasha is going to be trying, you know, doing his thing with Damien on his shoulder, inside shoulder. I hope they both come to the party, because it's a huge game. It's going to be electric. It's going to be a good running game. And imagine Mani Lepoc to come on 78th minute to kick the winning kick.
Oh, yeah.
How will that go?
That is also, I love how he selected that bench. Ethan Hooker starting. You've basically got hybrid center wings from number 10. Almost, you know, Damien Willems has played center and on the outback 3 before as well. I think Pelele Fassi is the only, and Cheslin Colby as well has become a hybrid player. Is the only real specialist, you know, in terms of being a fullback. And
who? Cheslin? Oh,
Pelele Fassi. Fussy.
Yeah.
Chesney's a hybrid player.
But Fussy can play on the wing all day long.
Yeah, Fussy can play on the wing, but I mean, wing fullback is sort of the same duties. I'm talking about roles. So your role is now a playmaker. So having a wing center, like I enjoy playing in Moody, allowing, playing more outside center. It allows him to evolve his game a little bit, to test
and
him
see more
in terms of how he's reading the game, right, etc. And having Ethan Hooker, I've been impressed with his play as well. He reads the game beautifully, showed off some fantastic handling. Reminds me a bit of Sonny Bill Williams. There's a little something.
That's a big call.
Wow. Big call. Let me tell. I'm not going to take it back.
Ethan Hooker reminds you of Sonny Bill Williams.
I'm going to let it simmer out there. I'm going to let it simmer.
Disrespect to SBW.
There's something about him, man. There's something about him, attitude-wise. If you watch how he was playing at inside center, outside center, he does have some pretty good hands. I love how he reads the game. Can't wait to see how they all combine. That obviously is a big thing, So yeah, exciting times for me. And then you've got Mani and Grant coming off the bench. Coming off the bench. Goodness me, they're looking to ball it. They want to say, let's go then. You guys want to join? You want to do the up and under thing, roll the dice, okay, all that nonsense? Let's join. You want to have a go? Let's have a go then. From 1 to 15 plus the bench.
Yeah, I think the big thing will be to be better under the high ball. Definitely, but also show a bit of structure, even though we've got all the running guys playing. Let them show a bit of structure and a bit of, a bit of discipline in the game, and then let loose when the opportunity is right. I think going back to that first test, that same adage always comes in. You've got to earn the right to go wide, right? And we were just so loose, and we scored so many points in that first 17 minutes. We just got over it. So I think we just got to earn the rights because we've got the right players to kind of do it.
I like, speaking of that, let's talk about it. The right players to earn the right to play and unlock the back line, which is very clear. They want to run the ball, right? So how do you earn the right? Have we selected the right tight five, the right loose trio? I think so. Lord moving from 5 to 4. I think the kind of rugby he's been playing is more suited to it. Ron Nokia getting another opportunity. That consistency does help. I think it's beneficial for Malcolm Marx as well. So for me, I'm quite excited. Lots of pressure on Thomas du Toit. Thomas du Toit. But I think he's career-wise, it's the right time for him. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's spot on. I think, to be fair, I think he's probably one of the guys who's shaping up to be the better players and more reliant players coming up.
The tank, Thomas the Tank.
Yeah. The thing is, he's becoming quite the reliable figure there. And then, Lurt and Broad, that's a great combo. And then the Lucy is very happy with. I think it's a right eight to give us
the return of Jasper. The return of Jasper.
Yeah, that's huge, and he's got a lot of making up to do.
The beast has been locked up. He's coming out, and he's coming out hard. I think he's got a lot of making up to do. Yeah, and there's something about that Visa family as well. I think they enjoy the making up part of life. Let's see. That's going to be exciting. Let's get down to it. Let's include the robots once more. One of the computers saying, mate, what are our odds? That's actually, I'm interested to hear that one.
New Zealand are favourites at 5 to 10. And then Australia, I think it's Australia. The Boks are outsiders. New Zealand are expected to win by 5 points.
Okay. So
not too dissimilar from last week. Not too dissimilar to last week. I think a good double if you fancy, depending what you saw in the Argentina game and what you thought there. You could look at South Africa and Argentina double. That would probably pay you 5 to 1.
Not bad. Speaking of Argentina, Australia, Argentina look like they could get a win there. Let's actually jump into that. Australia, Argentina. Wow. I like that attitude. There's something special happening in Australia, mate. And people always say that when Australia's in a good place rugby-wise, rugby in the world is in a good place. They're very important in terms of getting a good competitive streak going with the research of the teams, the styles that are played. Makes for fantastic watching.
Yeah. No, I think funny enough, I think it can just go 1-1, 1-1 with everyone, right? New Zealand went to Argentina, did 1-1. We've gone to New Zealand. We can do 1-1 if we win this weekend. Argentina have now flown over to Oz, and they can do a 1-1 situation. And we did 1-1 with Australia here. So why not have it go in all kind of equal 1 or 2 points apart from the top and the bottom of the log into the last two rounds of the competition? I think that's what I fancy. I don't see Argentina should have got over the line last week, and we possibly had a chance to draw. I think we got lucky by only losing by 7. But if we guys, the 8 that we spoke about, kind of gets their shit together, and they kind of earn us the right to go wide, I think we've got the perfect people to go wide with, and a nice little bench with Grant Williams, Andre Esterhuizen coming on, Mani Lebok. You know, he's mercurial when he wants to be. It's just that I think he's always got that thing in his head of kicking for posts. But I see he's changed his style now. I think he takes less time, less steps, less thinking. So I bank on him to win us a game in Wellington. Why not? And Argentina to win.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for as well. I'm backing, for all the touch rugby lovers out there, I'm backing Argentina playing that touch rugby. Rugby they played so well against New Zealand. And I'm also backing us with that team, that we're gonna blow it. We're gonna blow it out the water, which makes it all a 1-1-1. Then it'll go right down to the wire. What an incredible season of rugby, my man. Oh man, goodness me,
we spoke about this. We said the Rugby Championship and the Currie Cup potentially could be the best we've had in a very long time.
Yeah,
and it's
so
shaping up to be that way.
Let me round off the Rugby Championship this weekend. You say you bet on Argentina and you bet on the South Africa winning, the Boks beating the All Blacks in Wellington. Argentina beating Australia in Australia. It's 5-1. So you're making 5 times your money if you put it in.
That's it.
Oh, interesting times, mate. That's a fantastic Saturday. I can't wait for that one. Yeah, people will be braying nice and early. Hopefully this time it's not a rude awakening. And you know, let's go straight into the next massive thing that's happening this weekend. Bafana Bafana. What a big win for them. Not happening this weekend, but happened now this week. Bafana Bafana. Crazy times. Amazing times.
Yeah. Sorry, fight. Yeah. It's been it's brilliant. It's we got the draw against Nigeria. That almost guarantees us through. We need just 1 point from the next 2 games. One of them being at home and one being away. So if we'd won, we would have guaranteed been through already, but we basically 1 draw away from getting through, something we haven't done since 2002. Remember, when we played in 2010, we only played in the World Cup because we were hosts. So you can't have the host not play. So that's the only reason we didn't play in the 2010 World Cup. So we haven't qualified for World Cup in 23 years. Yeah, we haven't qualified for World Cup in 23 years. So this is huge. Hugo Bruce has done a brilliant job. He's made us look like a bit of the old school outfit. The fact that we can get through so easily in a group with Nigeria and Benin, it's a huge difference from where we were a decade and a half ago.
No, 100%. And there was some heart in the team. I saw a lot of work rate with us going up against Nigeria. That was I thought it was actually an excellent performance. Yes, it could have gone either way. A little bit of fortune here and there, but you create your own luck when you're playing for your coach and you're willing to work hard off the ball. Hugo Bruce I think he's the right man to unleash the spirit of the side. I think you're right. I think we're gonna do it. What are our odds?
I think our odds are very low now, 1 to 10 to make it through, because like I said, we just need a draw, and then we can't really talk about the odds for the World Cup because we'll be through with African teams, and then from there, depending on where we get drawn, then we can start looking into things like that. But in terms of us getting through to the World Cup, there's no odds on that. You're probably getting 1 to 10 because we just need a draw from the next possible 6 points.
We're saying Benin could do something. They're saying Benin could, remember, they still have a game in hand, if I'm not mistaken.
No, Benin, it's only 2 more rounds left. There's
Okay.
only
Penny
two
and
more
Pep.
rounds left,
Okay.
as far as I know. We've each got 2 more games left. They would need to win both their games and win them by 4 more goals, both of them, and we'd have to lose.
Yeah, we play Zimbabwe away and then Rwanda at home.
Yeah, so we would have to lose both games by 2 or 3 goals, and they would have to win both games by 2 or 3 goals for that to be realistic.
Okay, yeah, points difference also on our side. Bafana Bafana, what a moment, jeez,
Yeah.
and
Goal difference is a big thing. Goal difference is a big thing, and only top of your log goes through. Then the second places get seeded, and the top 4 of there goes through to a playoff, whatever. But like I said, we're 1 point away from qualifying. So yeah, it's almost a shoo-in.
Nice one. Congratulations to Bafana Bafana making us proud. Wow, could we create history? Jeez, that would be amazing. All those flights. people are starting to check the prices of flights to go to Melika.
Yeah, it's a bit expensive.
If it happens, there are a couple of guys who might not get visas. Let's not get into that whole thing. Let's wait and see. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here now. Sports.
I think also,
hold on.
It's quite interesting. The ticket prices I was hearing is a tiered system, so it will all go on demand. So it's not set prices. So it all go according to demand, like you would have on an air flight booking, with SAFAir or SAA, whatever. The price will adjust according to what the demand is, the level of the demand. So, I don't know, it'd be quite interesting. You could get some bonus situations there, and get some really cheap tickets to the games, but you know that getting to America is no joke. You should know that. It's not cheap.
Social media is going to be buzzing, mate. I'm anticipating a crazy buzz during December and early next year around social media. Watch out for that. It's going to be massive. Something else that is going to be massive as well. We have to touch on this, mate. What a crazy Currie Cup of 2025, going into the semi-finals now. I think we expected the URC teams to do what they did in the final round of the season, right? Sort of some expected results. Unfortunately, we're not going to see history. It's been a historic year across all sporting codes, clearly, with the Proteas as well. But my goodness, Sanlam Boland Cavaliers almost getting a home semi-final would have been the first time ever a semi-final has been played in Wellington in 132 years, 133 years of history, the oldest domestic competition in the world rugby-wise. So, I mean, it's an exciting one. I don't know. I don't want to. My heart is sort of starting to get a little bit painful because people are saying that the URC teams are going to be just a little too strong, and they've got a few games under their belt now. So there is that cohesion, which was a big advantage for the slightly unfavored sides in terms of on paper, right? And the competitions they're exposed to. But again, you know me, I'm a spirit warrior, mate. Is there enough spirit in the Dark Horses, the Cavaliers, the Suzuki Griquas to make some history?
As I think we had this conversation last week. I think, when the top teams can stack up, they stack up, right? The URC teams have got the depth. So when they need to get the job done, they get the job done. And unfortunately, Boland didn't break that record with not hosting in over 100 years. I think that could have been, unbelievable and probably the most manic and crazy match to go and watch there in Wellington. But flip, it's a tough one, Fudge. I think Lions at home are just going to be too much for Boland, I presume. And then Griquas Cheetahs. Griquas luckily being at home give them more of a chance. But who knows? Cheetahs looked decent last week against the Bulls. And there again, there could be a bit of experience that kind of gives them the nod. But I know we did say maybe Griquas to go all the way. I'm still going to put a bit of Tom on that. But I think things have shaped up a bit differently now that the semis are kind of the way they've shaped up. I think Lions at home, I think, will be the business.
So So Lions, Fidelity ADT Lions, Sanlam Boland Cavaliers. They go head to head. That's the first semi-final at Ellis Park. Boland, unfortunately, not a great away from home record as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
They have I think it was important for them to try and make that history because they've been impossible to beat at home as well. 3 out of 3
mm,
games, all
mm,
wins, massive,
mm,
massive results for them, and
yeah,
also the crowds that they're pulling, the community in Wellington. Just a
yeah,
special moment for rugby,
yeah,
pumping some good fresh blood into the corners of the nation. You know, so Boland is such an important province and area
yeah,
region for rugby in South Africa. So Lions Boland. Let's start there. I think with the top try scorer in the competition, we've seen pressure crack the pipes there at Ellis Park. Last year, that
mm,
final against the Sharks.
yeah.
Does that give them an edge now? Does it make it totally impossible for Boland? Does Boland have something extra? I don't know, mate. Quick summary from you.
Yeah, Boland could, I think, have a sneaky of a chance. Realistically, my head says no. My heart says yes. But Lions at home, I think they've just got too much. I think Lions by a try.
Okay, nice one. I'll say Boland by a try. Go against you there. Boland by a try. It's just a weird, it's been a weird season. It's been so many unpredictable outcomes. So
Mm,
much drama, so many yellow cards in the games as well, which opens
mm,
games up, you know. So I think
mm.
it adds a little bit of equalizer to the game. So we'll see. I hear you with that.
Yeah,
7
I
p.m.
like taking your money anyway.
Oh, man, you haven't even bought me my steak. But this weekend when Sunlight, actually the dark horses, bring me that steak. Bring me that steak from the sports sangoma. Come on, boys, let's do something. Um, the other semi-final, also massive one. It's what would you call it? Midlands? Would you call it the Midlands, the center of the country?
Mm,
The Cheetahs against the old foe, the Suzuki Griquas.
yeah,
Them playing in Kimberley is a massive advantage. And for me,
yeah,
they've
it's
been sort
huge.
of the form side in the competition until last
Yeah,
week.
yeah. I I think I'd like to see him. I think my heart and my head is saying Griquas. So one time my heart and my head kind of agree. I think Cheetahs are kind of coming up at the right time. I think Cheetahs got an edge of a bit of different, European rugby experience and some of that in the past, and just old traditions of Free State rugby and a good coaching team there with France and the boys. But yeah, this one time I'm actually going with my heart and my head. I think Kimberley will do the trick, and they'll go all the way and make the finals in what'll be at Ellis Park, I guess.
Ooh, let's see. Let's see. That's gonna be a
Are
crazy
you
one.
are you hesitant now on the Griquas? You're backing them hard
No,
last
mate.
week,
I
ready
think
to
it's a
go all the
big
way.
big clash of the titans. I love what Peter Berg's doing with the side. I think he's got that thing right of getting the players to play rugby that they get full buy-in on. I haven't seen
Yeah,
George Whitehead play this well in a running game consistently. He has flashes like that. His kicking is always good. We know that it's usually the best in the competition, at least over the last
yeah.
5 years or
I
so.
enjoy watching him. Yeah,
Yeah, but this year I've enjoyed watching him, man. He's playing like Dan Carter-esque. Dare I say it? You know, my comparisons have been quite out there, quite out there today, mate. So apologies and thanks for giving me a little bit of rope to hang myself there. But
yeah,
George Whitehead, great legacy for him, and also Victor Sekekete getting his 100 caps for the Toyota Cheetahs a week or so ago, and now legacy for him as well. In a side then of guys that have been together for some time, they'll be so desperate for a big win here. Suzuki Greek
yeah,
was lost in 2022 in Kimberley against the Airling Pumas. Maybe this is their year. I mean, I think Peter Berg must be saying it's now or never.
yeah. I think overall, I think Lions are odds on for winning the championship, of winning the Currie Cup, and I think close second behind is Cheetahs and Griquas probably together, and then Boland probably at the bottom in terms of the chances of those 4 teams, which ones will go all the way.
Okay. Sports Sangoma. What are the computers saying, buddy? What are the
Yeah,
robots saying, mate? What are the
so
odds there?
So when it comes to Currie Cup, unfortunately, they don't give you odds too early because of the teams needing to be announced and all of that. So you usually, with most of the betting houses, only get odds on the Currie Cup come Thursday morning, maybe Wednesday evening if you're lucky, but usually on Thursday. But just off the top of my head, I can tell you Lions will be favourites, probably at about 7 to 10, if I'm guessing, and then maybe Boland's probably at about 13 to 10, 14 to 10, if not 15 to 10 even. I think Lions have got the edge on them, and then I think more evenly on the Free State game, the Griquas versus the Free State. I think you'll probably have Griquas probably sitting at a probably 12 to 10 or 11 to 10, just shortly longer price than Cheetahs. I think Cheetahs maybe at maybe even money or 9 to 10. So they'll be pretty evenly matched. But I think I have my suspicions they'll probably be evenly matched. One will probably edge the other by a little bit. But I think in the Lions games, Lions will be probably, as I said, probably 5 or 6 points favourites versus the other game can go 2 or 3 points either way.
Suzuki Griquas, let's do it, man. Bolenkosi, Dlamini, yes, boy, let's go. Eddie David's doing really well. That tight five, Malembe and Pofu, those kind of characters, mate, they are an all-out team. If they can click, if they can find ways of just being focused and meditate, I think they can do it. I think they've got the individual performances and form to do it, mate. I think they can go all the way, bro. I think it's going to be one of those. Who knows? Exciting times. Exciting times. We're going to have a show where we break down the odds when we do get them. Yeah, it's going to be excellent. Sports Sangoma.
Yeah.
Anything else from you, mate? I'm excited. I'm amped after we just had a chat in terms of what's happening this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. Very, very amped. I think I'm looking forward to the EPL coming back. That's always a good show. I see there's been a bit of moving of furniture with the Nottingham Forest getting rid of their coach, and we playing them at home this week, which is quite nice. And then on Sunday, I see there's the small matter of a Manchester derby, which will be quite interesting in itself. But
amazing times. Yeah, amazing times.
Yeah.
No stress,
so,
bro.
Yeah, that's it. I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's lekker, bro. I don't think there's anything more we need to say there, mate.